All right, so thank you all for being here today for our webinar. Obviously, we're talking about AI in marketing. AI is ever changing, very rapidly. There will be some things definitely that aren't even in my slides that I'd love to even talk a little bit more about. Maybe I'll mix that in as we go through in terms of AI agents and how they're kind of getting leverage right now. But overall, again, what I'm going to kind of be showing you are tools that we use here on the back end of what we have and different softwares and how we leverage AI into kind of, again, different elements of marketing and how, again, it can be a game changer for shops and at the end of the day increasing efficiency, increasing cars, increasing the bottom line revenue there. But I'm rocking baseball stuff today. Today's the official opening day. Braves don't play today. Braves play tomorrow. But again, official opening day of baseball. And so I wanted to make sure I always represent one of my go-to passions. But all right, AI powered marketing. Let's get this thing rolling. So why AI matters more than ever. So obviously AI is kind of reshaping customer behavior and shop marketing overall. Again, customers are expecting immediate answers, and that's where AI has become, again, such a good kind of navigation to leveraging AI is how fast you get an answer. Kind of the scary part is people kind of hold it as a source of truth. They don't kind of vet the said answer that comes back to them. So again, I want to make sure that as we talk through this today, I mean, AI is not like 100% accurate, 100% true. And so you want to make sure that what is being kind of inputted there and is accurate information, especially about your shop in general. I mean, you don't want AI to explain your shop in a way that isn't right. So again, checking on what your shop is doing is going to be prevalent here. But again, customers are starting to leverage it more and more. I mean, it's not the go-to avenue of how people are finding, say, an auto repair shop. Yes, few are sprinkling through. Majority of the time for AI, it's more conversational, informational type of searches. So it's like a actual question or a prompt where someone's trying to have, again, a nice long conversation with an individual, with, again, the AI to get an answer or solution and drilling down from there. So we want to make sure that, again, we're navigating in that sense where if someone is though searching for an auto repair shop in the area, how are the results getting formulated? Again, for example, with ChatGPT, they're now displaying ads at the very bottom of searches and kind of leveraging that. So again, another little thing to play with when it comes to marketing. But overall, again, AI helps shops market smarter, respond faster, stay top of mind at the end of the day. So shops using AI grow faster because their marketing runs 24/7 as well. AI doesn't take a day off. It doesn't need to sleep. It kind of will just keep working for you. So the modern customer journey is going to be AI driven. So they're going to be going to Google. There could be an AI prompt there, or they could be on the ChatGPT. They could be going to Gemini, which is Google's version of AI. They could be going to Claude. They would all kinds of different AIs and things that are out there now. But then they're going from the Google. They're going to be reading about the reviews. They're going to the website, social. Again, how fast is someone getting their answers at the end of the day? AI can make that answer happen way faster. And so we want to make sure that we're leveraging kind of those elements. So AI across, where does it fit across all marketing services? Again, it's going to fit across the board. You can leverage it in any shape or form. Some people are taking it a very deep level where it's kind of almost doing a lot of the heavy lifting for them, and other times it's like, nope, we want to leverage it, but then kind of still create that human touch. And then that's a lot of what we do here is that we're leveraging it. We're not having it just replace people and what they do, because again, there needs to be that human element of trust. AI is getting more and more efficient though, where it is starting to be able, if it's a value added proposition of, say, content that's there, and again, it's more valuable than what an average human would write, that AI content piece would rank better. But then that's where you're as an individual, are you having kind of the information that's being written, is it accurate? And so a lot of people, again, that are putting in, say, one prompt in their search for AI, and they see a response, maybe don't proofread it very much, read first couple of sentences, it sounds about right to me, and then just kind of highlight it all, copy and paste, put it on someplace. That tends to be kind of a risky game. Again, if you're not checking in on what all that information is saying, then there's going to be inaccuracies that are kind of placed all over the web, and then AI is being taught these inaccuracies. So you want to make sure, again, there's a level of truth and proofreading that is being done. But if there is accurate information there, it really speeds up the process, and there aren't any excuses anymore. Like, oh, I just don't want to do it because it's going to take me too long, because AI can make it happen really, really quickly for you. But it can happen in a lot of different elements of marketing in many different shapes and forms. And we'll chat about a few of those as we go along today. So AI and SEO, again, and getting found faster. So AI is helping shops rank higher on Google without more manual writing. So overall, AI can improve a lot of the content, meta descriptions and things. You can have it analyze your site itself. You can have it analyze the content and what it feels. Again, that's where you want to make sure you're reading what it is recommending, because again, when you're asking for a recommendation from AI, it's not going to just be like, everything looks great, don't touch anything. Never, ever once has it ever said that on anything that we've ever analyzed and gone through. There's always like, there's always this next recommendation. It's just so that way you keep using AI and keep having a conversation. Because if you just had, again, one prompt, you put it in there and it was like, yep, everything looks good, there's no reason to keep typing in and keep searching. So that's where at the end of the day, these platforms want you to stay there and keep using it. And so they'll keep finding ways and finding other things to recommend and keep going and digging further and further and further. But again, is it going to provide the right value at the end of the day? So that's where you want to use the right barometer check here in terms of what things to do. Some suggestions are prevalent and they're good to check on. And maybe if you're using a marketing company, it's good to say, hey, these are some recommendations that spit out for me. Is that accurate? Is there something to look at? Again, there's good information, there's bad information, but you want to at least be checking on what is going on. I think one of the big value adds that can be added are kind of FAQ generation. So these are just FAQs, frequently asked questions, and by having frequently asked question, like at least one page on your site, that again answers a lot of different prompts that a lot of people type in naturally in a question format with AI. So now if you're answering a question pretty closely to what someone would type into AI, and you have like kind of a whole paragraph section about why again you would do something that way when you hear a certain noise, and then AI is finding that, yep, that answer is valuable and trustworthy. They throw it in there, they tag you and say, yep, I got this information from Bob's Auto Repair because it was on this page. Then again, that allows you to be kind of that authority in the space. So yeah, little things like that, but FAQ generation is a good one to throw in there in terms of, it's a straight question answer sort of format that is sort of the same way that people are leveraging AI. So that's where you're starting to see a lot of these types of pages pop up nowadays, even in the form of blog content. And what AI is and isn't for auto shops. So AI is not replacing a tech or service writer, at least not yet. There's not going to be a robot walking around and fixing the car. So you still need to have the people portion there. There isn't going to be a robot communicating with a customer right at the desk. Like, you need a real person that's going to be communicating with them and making someone feel at home and comfortable there. Now, there are ways that AI can still be an answering machine for you, of like, hey, outside of business hours, you still have an AI answering process of, hey, when it's taking down the customer's information, it's leading them to the scheduling of an appointment. It'll go ahead and book said appointment on the calendar. If you have a scheduling tool, there's a lot of that element where like, hey, yeah, even though we were closed, there was no one there to answer the phone, there's still something that can answer the phone. So that's a valuable piece there to potentially leverage. AI though is replacing manual marketing work. It's a multiplier, not automation, that removes humans. So obviously there's certain things, especially a blue collar business, that an AI just can't magically take over. I'd say it's pretty safe in terms of the type of business, but there are definitely ways that we want to make sure that we are understanding just how AI is helping the auto repair shop at the end of the day. So why shops using AI grow faster? Again, a lot of this faster response times, higher review capture. They're having that AI automation and flow through of communication through text messages, more consistent posting, better ad performance. There's a lot of different things that keep improving the game for you. But I think really the biggest one is this faster response time, because I don't know how many of you see a form fill out or a scheduled appointment, or if you don't have any follow-up mechanism that is like, hey, they called, you missed the call, you called back 30 minutes later versus 5 minutes later, like the difference in terms of the close ratio of said job. So you want to make sure that things are being responded to as fast as possible. And that's where AI comes into play, because it's like, it's never sleeping, it's never too busy. It can literally just do it instantly. And I think that's a really powerful thing to be able to have, again, especially in this day and age where people want immediate gratification and they don't have patience anymore, which is really sad. But again, having a tool then to not be the excuse of like, oh, well, that's their problem that they can't wait. Like, no, like you're able to have an option to help speed up that process. And so the problem AI solves, and we talked about a few of these things, but let's talk about the 5 levels of AI marketing maturity. So there's different levels, and some people are, hey, AI is terrifying, I'm never going to use it, to, oh my goodness, AI is everything, and that's all I use. And so there's obviously, I'm one to definitely be in somewhere in the middle. We want to leverage AI efficiently, but it never should replace everything. Again, there's a human element that can just make a shop very unique, and it's the reason why people continue to go back. And you don't want to take that away by just consistently having like AI everywhere, and you're like, oh yeah, now I can reduce headcount and overhead, and that is nice at times for the bottom line. But then again, is it only a short-term win where eventually people are like, well, I don't really like going there. I don't talk to anyone. Like, it's just all it just feels robotic and feels fake. And then they pick somewhere else where it just has that human touch. Because again, as people keep leveraging AI, they're going to have less and less human element of experience, but we need that in this day and age. So having something in between to just kind of look at your processes, making it efficient. Really, when it comes to SOPs and SOPs are just standing operating procedures, I think that has been a game changer, and how that's really improved the elements. And it no longer needs to stay in people's minds, especially for you owners that are like, well, I can just do it myself. I've definitely fallen victim to that mentality before, where it's like, yeah, I can just take care of it. Like, I know how to do it. But with AI, you can just have that conversation and like, hey, this is my end goal. I need to create a setting up operating procedure for how to properly greet a customer. Something super simple that you think, everyone should know how to greet a customer, but maybe there's a way that you should be doing it. It's a standard that you created at your shop, and a new hire won't just know it magically. But you have a doc that you've worked with AI to create of like, hey, this is the expectation of what, even a talk track and examples of how you should be handling a customer. This is what you do. And again, something so simple, but then now you have this whole document that you can have a whole binder in of like, these are the different steps. This is how you do training. And now that's you having to get less hands-on involved with training because you created this entire element for them. So yeah, there's going to be different ways, but you have no AI, and then you have basic usage, and people are leveraging workflows, and then they have multi-channel, so they're leveraging AI in all kinds of different places, then fully AI assisted operations. So that's more where, I mean, I don't know how many of you have seen this stuff with the open source AI, or people are buying these Mac minis and really having AI agents do all these different steps. But a lot of the steps that they're having the AI agents do are almost pointless work, where it's not providing any true value. And yeah, it's nifty that someone is checking your email and marking them as read, but it's like, is that a big value add for what you're trying to accomplish? And so there definitely are ways that people are leveraging it to be value adds, but others are just, I mean, almost doing it just to do it. And so that's where we want to reflect on, like, what's the result that you're giving the customer at the end of the day, and is AI helping create a better result and an experience for the customer? And if it's yes, absolutely, let's leverage that. But if it's like, no, what this is doing is pointless, then again, don't waste that time. Okay. And again, as any of you have questions, I appreciate all that are here. Please feel free to throw it in the chat, and I'll make sure I answer those as we go along, because I appreciate the time that people take out of their days to spend with me here. And if you're And this goes up on the replays. And so if you're on the replay watching it, please like and throw comments and questions that are there. So that way, again, we'll reach out and make sure those get answered for you. But AI-powered local SEO. And so this is where AI can optimize for local relevance by identifying trending local keywords, rewriting content with neighborhood modifiers, all these little things where you want to make sure obviously you're ranking in the maps at the end of the day. And so ranking in the maps is obviously one of the most important things that you can do, and that's where a lot of business is found. And this is the way that, I mean, for AI at least, people aren't leveraging it in the search types as prevalently. So in terms of, they're not looking into AI like what is the best auto repair shop near me. They're still going to go to Google. They're still going to the maps a little bit more prevalently on this, but it's something to keep an eye on, and we're consistently keeping an eye on like how prevalently that search type is changing. What we're seeing those is a very close correlation of like what is ranking well in the maps in Google tends to rank the same way in AI when the same type of search is typed in. There's kind of the same correlation of like who's gaining the most trust. Those are the same businesses that are appearing high. Every once in a while, obviously, there's little discrepancies, but something little to keep track of when we're looking locally and how to optimize. But again, that's what things look like currently. AI keyword research. So this is where keyword research is super prevalent in terms of how AI can be super helpful, and that's a one thing that is a little bit tricky to be able to teach kind of the average owner. Because I know, say for example, some people hate to be called mechanics. And they're just like, no, I'm a service technician, and that sounds way more professional. It sounds right, but the average customer doesn't know that. They know what a mechanic is, and they know that's what they need. And so thus where on the website, that's what gets searched. And so we need to make sure that word is featured at times on the page. If it's not, then you're just losing an opportunity share. But sometimes, because some people are like, hey, they just take off all the words of mechanic and they threw on service technician, and now all of a sudden the ranking for mechanic went way down, search volume goes down. They're like, why am I not as busy? Well, it's like, well, here's the example of why you're not as busy, because we literally took away that word and you went ahead and wanted to do that anyways. But let's put it back, and you put it back, and boom, things go back to a little bit normalized in terms of how you're ranking locally for the word mechanic. Same thing with on the lines of oil changes. Sometimes you're like, well, I don't want all these penny chasers, and like they're only looking for an oil change. I mean, majority of consumers, that's all they know that they need for their car. They don't realize all the other things and how regular they need maintenance, and they don't know about fluid flushes, and they don't, I mean, maybe sometimes even people get to the point of, yeah, they understand they need brakes, but they don't know how often, they don't know when. I mean, when the brakes don't work, that's when they'll finally realize, but obviously it's too late. And so you have to teach the customer. So that's where, at least if you get them in the entryway and you have those pages on there, it's up to you to have kind of a full DVI and teach them and give them that customer experience. They trust you. But the idea is marketing is to get them in the door, and whatever ways that is to get them in the door, regardless of maybe that word not sounding the most professional or that service not being the most profitable. If it gets them that way, that's where you want to. Those have the most search volumes, and like again, it's just a numbers game where we want to be top of funnel. How many leads can we get to the top of funnel? That then works its way down to actual cars in the door and building revenue. So we have a question: is it true that Instagram has keyword ranking on Google now? Yes, that actually is true. Where Instagram posts are getting indexed, and again, you can type in certain phrases for like even like brake repair in so-and-so city, and if you have say an Instagram video that talks about brake repair in your city, it will be ranking in terms of, as long as Google is finding that post of value. Say you have a good amount of engagement on that post, again, very beneficial to be able to have. But Google is liking the trust within community, because now there's others being involved and saying like, oh yeah, this shop is where you need to go for brake repair, and you see a bunch of comments on Instagram about that. And of course, Google's like, yeah, that's prevalent. We should be showing this post as a trustworthy source. Same thing by Reddit has gotten super popular in terms of like some of the rankings. If you type them in, you always see Reddit posts popping up really high, because now it's community talking about said thing, and again, just different voices and another source to be able to dig into. Not that Reddit is the source of truth, but again, there's a lot of different viewpoints and voices, and again, there's engagement there. So people are finding that to be a little bit more trustworthy than, again, an average article on a website. So again, the little things that you want to be able to look at and play with there. So hopefully that answers your question of Instagram. And so yeah, social is definitely important in terms of your kind of your marketing journey. I know not everyone can fork out the time to be able to do regular postings or do videos and things like that. I know there's a lot of different ways to market, but it is important to diversify your different marketing avenues as well. You don't want to be only beholden to one way. And again, what if that way just shuts off tomorrow? Like, are you prepared in terms of, like, yeah, I can still get customers these other ways because I have these funnels on? Because that's where, I mean, some people run a lot more risk in terms of, like, yeah, I'm the best in Google, and yes, absolutely, it gets the most search volume. But again, you want to have other avenues as well. So AI for technical SEO fixes. So this is where it kind of gets into the weeds a little bit, but AI can definitely help. It understands it all, at least based on what it sees through the web. So it can come up with schema suggestions, internal link recommendations. Again, things that just help SEO at the end of the day. It just gives recommendations on how to fix it. It won't go ahead and fix it for you. That's a little bit risky in terms of this. Like, I mean, you can theoretically create an AI agent that has backend access to your website, and then it just kind of is making these fixes in live. But then again, it's hard to keep track of, like, those fixes and if they're being done correctly, because it just depends on how you taught it. So again, I would rather have the recommendations and then have a professional fix it. So AI for GBP optimization. So it can come up with, again, Google Business Profile post templates, suggested Q&A that you put on there, service descriptions, all the different avenues that you want to keep placing within the Google Business Profile to ensure that you're taking advantage and creating the best environments that will help you rank the best there. All right, let's keep rolling as we go along, because I really want to make sure that I get to all the softwares that we use. But AI and websites, at the end of the day, we want to create higher conversions. So conversions are just like people that visit the website, they can give you a call or schedule an appointment. That's the end goal at the end of the day. That's why your website exists, and it's to give them some information and trust, but ideally you want them to show up and bring their car to you. So AI can definitely enhance those elements. It can, again, suggest maybe placing certain things, certain areas. Again, at the end of the day, though, it's going to keep making recommendations regardless of if you have the perfect setup. It's going to suggest to put it, no, you should put your butt to this side and put the phone number this way. So just be careful when it comes to those. They'll just keep giving you recommendations, but then it doesn't hurt to have another pair of eyes and to be able to decide on what is the best format that you want to have. And so AI for accessibility. So there's things that you can do: alt text, readability grading, ADA just for, like, kind of the disability and making sure your website is ADA friendly. And AI makes that really simple to be able to attach and do there. Then AI negative keyword opposition. So when it comes to ads, you want to make sure that you're not wasting spend. And so AI can definitely be prevalent in terms of helping you understand, one, what negative keywords are. And those are words that you don't want to be searching and appearing for to waste spend. And again, it can keep helping you understand and add to your list. I mean, things that we've done, we've imported our entire lists and said, hey, is there anything that we're missing from that? I mean, our negative keyword library is thousands of words and things that we've had over time, but there's always a little bit more that can analyze, and they can analyze it super fast in terms of the amount of words that are there. And so that helps us ensure that what we're placing in there is accurate. Obviously, every shop is unique in terms of the different keywords that they want. I mean, some shops are all makes and models. Some shops are just Euro. Some shops are just diesel. Some shops do only certain types of services versus all of them. And so again, you don't want to have kind of a go-to way of, like, oh, this shop did it this way, and I'm going to have all the same negative keywords as well. Again, you might not have apples to apples in terms of the types of services and makes that you're covering. So make sure you're not, at the end of the day, hopefully what I'm teaching is that you're not just copying and pasting what is being put in, like, spit out from AI, because it will not always be right, and it could be detrimental, and you won't realize, like, where you had the misstep. So you leverage it as a kind of a good suggestion, and then you make these suggestions and edits yourself, or you customize it to be your voice versus an AI voice. And then when it comes to landing page adjustments, same type of thing. You want to improve message match, increase quality score. When it comes to Google Ads, really simple edits that you're able to do with AI. So social media, I think this is a very powerful way that AI can help you, one, be able to get it done and really scale and drill down to what you want to have as your voice. Because again, you can say you're like, hey, I really like the local social page of this restaurant or this other blue collar company and what they're doing in the area. I don't really know how to get started on creating a kind of a presence like this. How would I start? You can literally ask a question like that, and it'll analyze their entire social profile and give you steps of like, okay, this is what you need to do to start kind of creating an experience that they've created. And it'll give you suggestions on video types. It'll give you suggestions on pictures. It'll give you suggestions on, hey, this is how you, maybe these are certain local Facebook groups that you need to be involved in. These are certain people that you need to be connected with. It shows, the more questions you ask, the better that it can drill down. But then at the end of the day, you're like, okay, what do I do with these suggestions? How do I make these posts? And it can even take it a step further and do that for you. Now, granted, some of these platforms, you need to get to the paid tiers to be able to create these things a little bit more dramatically. So like, say, for example, you wanted to create more intense video that would be with AI. You can't just do that with a free platform because that takes a lot of power and dollars on their end to run it. So you're gonna have to pay in terms of some of the monthly plans. But if you're gonna leverage it consistently, that can be plenty worth it in terms of the time that it is saving you and the creation that it does. Like obviously it can create a bunch of pictures. You can upload like, hey, can you leverage this type of photo that I've taken and then create X, Y, and Z from it? And boom, it'll create it. It'll create a video off of a picture, all kinds of things that can happen there. So it can create you a whole social calendar and give you suggestions of like, hey, you should theme the days of the week out here. And these are tips of like, you need to make sure you remember to take a picture of this type of thing. And then we'll edit it and create this on the picture. Again, there's so much that can be done with AI in social media that it's pretty crazy. But again, you want to make sure that you are leveraging it at the end of the day. Okay. And social media SEO. So again, what like we chatted about earlier with a question from someone with Instagram, but like social posts, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube videos, they're all indexed by Google, which means it affects SEO, it affects ranking, and makes your brand more prevalent. So you want to make sure that one, you have all these pages created, that you have a Facebook page, you have an Instagram page, you have a YouTube page, even if you're not like as consistent about creating them. So, but when the time does come, you have them there and you just upload. So videos, one like tutorial ones of showing someone how to do something, but ideally like video testimonials of customers talking about why your business is good at why they keep coming back. Like those are very powerful videos that boom, you can throw onto all the different social platforms. And again, certain words that are extrapolated there, ideally you would have captions on top of the posts, because Google, again, the AI is reading all of that. And if something that's featured within there is answering a prompt that someone then types in, boom, you're there at a very high chance of winning the customer. So little things that you want to make sure that you're doing. So yeah, suggesting keywords, writing captions on there, generating alt text on the back end, a lot of things that definitely where I think AI is helping on the social side. So now we're going to go through a few AI tools we leverage and use every day here at Lyft and kind of the back end, and we'll have some videos and whatnot of walking through what those things look like. As you all have questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat again. But again, some of our favorites, we leverage a few more than these now. I mean, there's again more new tools coming up every day, it feels like, but some of that I'll go through. We'll talk about ChatGPT, we'll talk about Descript, we'll talk about CapCut, Envato, Canva AI. So a lot of different platforms that we leverage and use, and I'll go through how we use them. So first we'll talk about Canva. So Canva, for those that don't know what it is a amazing platform that allows you to really create different pictures in different formats, even videos in different formats. But mainly we use it for like picture and in terms of the generation and edits that are there. So you can create templates for multiple locations, AI powered resizing, caption suggestions. I mean, a lot that just makes it creates the right format for different platforms, because not every social platform is the same formatting of photos that is the most optimal. And so then kind of automatically create those things for you based on the suggestions that are there. So here is a quick demo here. So we have a general picture that came through, and at times we're like, hey, license plates, we don't want license plates to be featured in there. So you can use a magic eraser, you can highlight over license plates, and boom, they're gone. Like there won't be any license plate numbers that are featured in there. All right, we want the logo to also be featured within the picture itself, and we want certain words to be featured onto the organic picture. What does that look like? Or the customer hasn't sent us an organic picture of, say, a tire rotation that we're wanting to do for a post. So we can easily type that into the Canvas library, spits out a few options for us. Boom, we can throw that in there, create a quick post that then you can leverage for social. And so yeah, it just, again, very, very simple and easy ways to be able to leverage Canva here to make a social post. Again, this is a very basic one. You can make it very intense. It's just an example of how, I guess, easy and friendly that it can be. All right. Descript is going to be more for editing video. So those that are heavily involved in video and making them. I know some shops are really, really good at making them. Others, you've never made one before, you don't like being behind the camera. And that's totally fine. Not everyone likes to be behind the camera. I know for a long time I didn't want to be on it either. But again, Descript is a powerful way to be able to edit videos. It can help you understand, say, further words that you use. So if I say too many times, or I say it like too many times, it'll spit that out for me and then tell me, yeah, you're used it this many times. But they also will remove those through the voice of the video. They'll take it all out, and it still will sound pretty smooth, and now you just don't have any filler words. And then it'll generate the subtitles for you. It'll do overdub, it'll do driven repurposing. Like, again, a lot of different things that Descript does. A very powerful tool that we leverage for videos. And it'll be something like this with this webinar, where we'll leverage Descript and it'll spit all those things out. So here you can see an example that we have and how we throw things in here. Yeah, one thing I hate is I hate hearing my own voice, and so I'm not going to play that for very long in terms of listening to myself. But yeah, so let's go on to the next feature. Next feature is going to be CapCut. In terms of how we leverage that. This is going to be kind of short form video, making reels and all the trendy ways to make these types of things. CapCut is a very, very good tool when it comes to social and making these. So here's an example where we had a testimonial video that came through, and we wanted to add, hey, we need to add our logo into there, and we need to cut it certain ways. So you can see here different ways that you're able to leverage and just kind of drag and drop certain features into the video and drag them into certain sections. And again, not expecting everyone to be an expert on all these tools after watching this. This is just an idea behind, hey, what are the different tools that are out there that can be leveraged for marketing? And I wanted to share, these are some that we do use and how we use them. A lot of things, again, are drag and drop, and really, really cool about giving suggestions of what things you should do, creates a template, carries over different templates right away when you throw a new video upload in there. And so ChatGPT, that's obviously, a lot of people should know what that is by now and how it's being leveraged. Now there's more and more search type like competitors of ChatGPT that are out there in terms of Gemini and Claude, and Twitter has its own in terms of that type of thing too. There's so many different type of content engines that are out there, but ChatGPT was kind of the original, so that's where we built a lot of libraries and whatnot in there already. So we can generate 30, 60 days of content in terms of a roadmap plan, write emails, captions, service posts, create Google posts. A big thing that we do is we create libraries of customers or of our clients, and then kind of what we teach it, what we want it to learn about a certain shop and how kind of their voice and in terms of what things should sound like and suggestions that should be given to us based on where they're located, so on and so forth. Because again, we don't live every single place across the country, and some places are just different. Some of the trendy things or the inside jokes or whatever it may be are unique to that place, and AI can help us understand what it is that populates from this area, because it's combing the web and understanding, oh yeah, these are the things that make this place unique, and this is how you should leverage it for content creation. And then we leverage those ideas and things to kind of make it our own. So those are little things again that make it very powerful in a library. Same thing with we have SOPs galore in their entire things, where say a team member is confused of hey, I am not sure who I need to speak with in terms of this one thing that's going on, and then boom, will spit out oh, you need to reach out to this person because they cover this responsibility. So just to make it easier for team members, so things like that we have internally. So I mean, quick. Again, I'm not going to go through this example in terms of ChatGPT. So I'm sure again many of you have used it, but again, it's just one thing uses post ideas for auto shop marketing, and it just spits out a few ideas. But yeah, you can use it in so many different ways, but it's only as good as the prompts that you enter and you give it. It's again, if you're not going to keep digging and teaching it the way that you want to sort of teach it, it's the results aren't going to be impressive to what you want to do. Next, it's going to be Envato. Envato has a lot of stock photos, but also AI powered templates that are in there that allow you to have AI powered video. All of it is license free. I mean, in terms of you pay a license to have access to this entire library, so that way you don't get in trouble with anything that comes and spits out. But there are royalty free videos as well and whatnot that you can leverage, and then from here you can download it. You can throw it into some of the other AI editing tools to adjust and make your own. Yeah, I think again, one of the most powerful ways is creating a social media content calendar as just an example. Hey, Monday is Marketing Myth Monday, Tuesday is Tip of the Week, Wednesday is Client Spotlight. Just giving you an idea of how you should be posting. Because one of the biggest roadblocks for people in doing social is they don't know what to do. I don't really know where to begin, and then once they get stuck there, they just stop. They don't even bother. So this allows you to again brainstorm, have ideas, and if some ideas that spit out that you don't like, just say, actually, I don't like Thursday's idea at all, or I don't really know how to accomplish Thursdays, or any other ideas that you have, and boom, they'll spit out different ideas that you can throw in there and how to get it done. So yeah, those are different ways that, again, I strongly suggest, if you're ever stuck, just keep digging and teaching it how to, again, be I am not very smart and I don't know how to make this happen. How would you do it for if a second grader had to get this done? And it'll teach you step by step of how to get that done that way. So there's never a good excuse in terms of not being able to leverage it, because again, you can dig in and teach it to do whatever you really need it to do. And so short form video ideas, again, like I mentioned, some of the best ideas is it's going to be testimonials from customers, not just yourself, but you can turn AI into your content assistant for quick 15-30 second videos. So it can come up with short scripts, hooks, and things that you want to say. It's been amazing at being able to do that, because it looks to the web and be this is the most popular hook or common hook right now. Or you know what, I like one person I really like is Alex Hormozi, and I like the detail that he goes through in terms of his videos, and it's okay, why is his style unique? Or if Alex Hormozi were to review this, what would he suggest? And then it would kind of go through the voice of this is his style, so this is what I suggest him, how you would want to create a video that would again hit the right individuals in this way. it has all that information there for you. So yeah, if there's people that you've leaned on as thought leaders in the space, then boom, just type it in there, and then AI will then leverage what that person does, why they do it well, to then give you similar ideas to make it work for you. And then AI for review growth. And so I don't know how many of you are good about generating Google reviews. Hopefully you are. So, I mean, one thing that getting Google reviews should be really easy if you have automation and AI built in. It should be, again, a quick go-to process after a shop is done, the RO is paid, and the customer's gone. I like to have a send out a day later, so that way they have a feel for the vehicle. Some people like to send it out immediately, but again, I've just usually seen the best response about a day later. Then you get the good feedback there. So but again, you want to have some sort of automation that does that for you, and not you having to remember to manually send out a text or anything like that back and forth every single time. Because if you're having to do that, you're naturally going to forget. There's human error. People get busy, and then you're like, well, oh crap, I haven't sent out a review link in ages, and in the last 6 months I've gotten 6 reviews. Like, that's obviously not ideal, because Google also has a recency bias in terms of how frequently people are going to a place and leaving reviews. So if you don't have, even if you have the most in the area, so you're like, yeah, I got 500 reviews. The next closest competitor has like 150. So I want to dominate for a long time. But if you go a span of too long of not having very many, and like your most recent one becomes, oh, it was 6 months ago, like these other competitors are going to fly by and go right above, even if they have less, because there is recency and new trust. Because Google may think, well, maybe people aren't going there anymore, and that's why they're not getting reviews, and so I shouldn't appear them as often anymore. So you don't want to run into that issue ever when you're going through reviews. And then also you can have response templates for yourself, and in terms of, hey, this is how I want to respond to customers. Ideally, again, you're not just copying and pasting the response, and ideally you also want to make sure you're throwing in the make and model of the vehicle that they brought in, as well as the service. Little keywords go a long way, because again, all that is getting indexed by Google and valuable there. All right, so that is a lot of what I wanted to chat about. I'm trying to look through if there's reactivation campaigns that you can come up with in terms of like bringing people back to client services and reminders. Again, hopefully all these things are already being implemented within people's CRM tracking for reporting and whatnot. It can give you general summaries of how your business is doing, what things need to be highlighted and important. So again, as you can see, AI can be leveraged in so many different ways, and it's just about starting. I think that's usually it can be a scary world. There's a lot that AI can do now, and again, there's businesses that are letting a bunch of people go because they're like, AI is just going to start doing their job. And yes, maybe they've built it in that sense, but that at times can be short-term wins. You want people that, again, hopefully they're leveraging AI. I mean, I challenge our team all the time to like, hey, just come up with new ways to leverage AI in your job, just to ensure that we are staying at the utmost in terms of efficiency and the results that are coming through and not falling behind. Because again, the world is changing very, very quickly. And if you want to at least start, because every day that passes, again, people can just fly by because they're just leveraging AI. It looks like they're online all the time, and I don't know how they're getting back to customers so quickly. It's because they just implemented all these different things. So yeah, that is everything that I wanted to chat about today in terms of AI. Are there any last final questions and things like that as we go through this? All right. Well, if you want an analysis of what is how you're performing in terms of in AI search or just locally, how you're appearing in the rankings, things like that, we do free shadow sessions. So feel free to scan the QR code, or you can give us a call. go through our website, book a strategy session, but we'll review what you have going on, review what competitors have going on, and again, what things that you can leverage to do a little better, especially when it comes to AI and how you're performing there, and if you're doing a good job or not. We have a free marketing checklist. And so in terms of internet marketing checklist, so again, if you need to just check up how things are performing across the board, go to our website, download the checklist, and again, it's something manual that you're able to do yourself. We have a Facebook group with other shop owners. Again, well over 2,000 shop owners that are in there. You can integrate, free to join. We have Amazon, a book on Amazon, Drive More Business, that my wife and I wrote. That again, step-by-step guide in terms of walking through different elements of marketing for your shop. So that is everything I have for you today. I thank you all for being here. If you do have any questions that you need to reach out, please feel free to reach out to me or throw it in the comments of this replay. But thank you all again, and we'll chat again next time. See you guys. Bye.